Hello, my beautiful friends. As you can see, I'm sitting in the park here, feeling really grateful. I just had some time with my son and my grandson. Um, and since they were quarantined for 2 weeks, and we knew, no, we, and I've been pretty much quarantined, we knew that none of us were contagious. So we took an opportunity to hug and take some pictures together and, break some rules, but we all felt safe and so excited to have done that. So they're gone now, and I wanted to share some thoughts with you. I've been having some wonderful communication with a number of you as you're coming into the group, and having some conversation. And I wanted to talk to you about this "yeah, but" thing, right? So how many times have you had an idea, and no sooner do you have the idea that your ego mind, look at my hair, that your ego mind jumps in with a "yeah, but," right? So I want to, start an online business. Yeah, but you don't know how to do that. Or in my case, I want to run. In the beginning, it was a 5K, and then it was a 10K, and eventually it was a marathon. And, I could very quickly have said, yeah, but I've never run that distance, or I don't know how to do that, or, I don't know how to get the training. And, there's so many wonderful, creative ideas that come into our minds that our ego mind is that come as forms of inspiration, right? And desire, as Abraham Hicks says, you send out your rockets of desire. But the problem is that if your ego mind doesn't think you can do it, or there's no evidence that you can, it will immediately come in and squash that beautiful bit of inspiration. And I teach about this and I talk about this in terms of your dreamer and your doubter, right? Your dreamer is really your soul. The dreamer is the part of you that's connected to your higher wisdom, to your higher source. When you came into physical being, there's a larger part of you that's still in non-physical, right? In spiritual. And the inspiration comes through that beautiful connection with higher source and, with divine guidance. And the ego mind is so concerned with getting it right, or doing it right, or not making a mistake, or not fitting in, or being rejected, or looking foolish, that in its desire to protect you, it will squash your dream faster than, you can say the word squash. And so I just wanted to get on quickly today, because I don't think I have a lot of battery in my phone, to just bring to your attention the fact that there are these two aspects of self, right? There are many aspects of self, but the dreamer, the part of you that's expansive, that knows that anything is possible, that recognizes that if an idea comes to you, it's meant to be yours, right? I'm sure many of you have heard phrases that are like, if God or goddess or spirit or the universe or divine mind gives you something, it's yours to have. It wouldn't be coming to you if it wasn't yours to do in some way. Now, that's not to say it's yours to do today or tomorrow or the next day, because we all know that divine timing is an element of all of this. So I talked about, running a marathon. I had been a runner for most of my life. And in my 20s, I had the idea that I would like to run a marathon one day. And do you know when I ran my first marathon? When I was 43. Because all of the elements came together. It was perfect timing. I met a woman who was running with the Leukemia Society because her 3-year-old daughter had been diagnosed with leukemia. And so she was running half and full marathons as fundraisers for the Leukemia Society. How did I meet her? Her son was in my son's 4th grade class, right? And my youngest had just started kindergarten. And so all 3 of my children were in school, and I was working afternoons and evenings as a therapist. And so my mornings had all of a sudden become available. And all of these pieces came together, and I just said, you know what? This is the time I'm going to do it. So I made a commitment by signing up with the leukemia team in training, because I knew that if I did that, I was much more likely to keep my commitment to myself if I also made a commitment to something outside of myself. We were expected to raise money for the Leukemia Society, something that, I'm not very good at asking, for things, especially money, but because I was doing it for something that I believe so strongly in and wanted to support, I did ask people to make donations because I was running on behalf of a little girl with leukemia. We were each partnered with someone who had leukemia. And I wanted some accountability besides the team that I was going to be training with. So I asked my neighbor to run with me. Now, she was not a long distance runner either, but she was somebody who got up early in the morning, which I don't do. And so I knew the only time that I would have to run would be very early in the morning. And if I put it off and I waited till later in the day, it would not happen, right? So I enrolled my neighbor Joanne to be my running partner, because I knew if Joanne was standing at my driveway at 5:30 in the morning, I would get my butt out of bed because I wouldn't want to disappoint her, right? I changed my diet. I made a lot of changes in my life in order to be able to do it. And at 43, I ran my first marathon, the Marine Corps Marathon in Washington, D.C., and my 3 kids and their dad, my former husband, came to watch me, and it was awesome. And I just got the notification that I'm about to run out of battery. So I'm just going to leave you with this thought. If you have a bit of inspiration, I want to start a nonprofit, I want to start a community garden, I'd love to learn how to paint or sing or play the piano, or I want to run a marathon, don't let your doubter squash your idea before you've even had an opportunity to plant and let it blossom, right? Give it time, sit with it. Play around with how could this happen, get creative, and let your ego mind know it's okay. I know you're trying to protect me. You don't want me to take a risk. You don't want me to look foolish. You don't want me to get rejected by somebody who won't believe in my idea. But this feels right for me, right? And I'm going to give it some room to breathe and grow. And maybe find some space between the dreamer and the doubter. There's a plan in there that can help calm the doubter's mind. It can settle the voice of the ego that wants to shut it down right away. So before I run out of battery, I'm just going to say, have a beautiful rest of your afternoon. I hope you've had something awesome to do today, something that brought joy into your life, and I hope you're planting your dreams, and I look forward to helping you bring those dreams into reality. All right, my loves, bye now.